everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Investor News Channel. This is your host, Tony Moreno. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining. Today is, what is today? I always get my dates mixed up. Today is Tuesday, April 23rd. And I appreciate everybody joining. If you're new to the channel, this is actually our second episode. We actually launched yesterday. And the idea of the show is for real estate investor, new time home buyers, or anybody wanting to know more about real estate. This is where you can get your top real estate news or news that involve real estate investors. So if you're looking to start, or if you're an experienced investor, or you're just somebody that just wants to know about real estate, you're in the right place. So today we're going to cover three stories, and the three stories right now, let me add it to my screen so you guys can see it. We're going to talk about CPI, the Consumer Price Index. Some of you may be aware of this, and some of you may not be. And this is basically the variation of item price that us consumers pay. So we're going to be talking about that. That's our first story. We're going to be discussing food, energy, and all the other items. Our second story, we're going to look at office vacancy rate nears 20% to set fresh record. Now, yesterday, if you haven't watched that episode yet, watch yesterday. We did talk about commercial real estate in California and in the U.S. And we can see that today, that office vacancy rate nears to 20%. So we're going to talk about that. And then the third story, we're going to look at three things to know about the UWN mortgage lawsuit. Now, this is a lawsuit related to similarly to what was um, the agents. I can't get the acronym right now, but the agents organization. I'm drawing a blank. That's why I'm not a real estate agent. But anyways, we're going to be talking about those that third story. So again, if you are new to the channel, I appreciate you joining. Welcome. And again, if you like what you see, and if you want to know more about real estate news going on in the world, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button below. So first things first, we're going to talk about CPI. So again, this is consumer prices, the variation year over year. And first things first, we can see that everything has increased to 3.5. Now, the Fed, they always look to increase inflation to be 2%. And obviously, they are well above that, 3.5%. So that means, again, this does not mean that, this just means that items are increasing by 3.5% compared to last year. The Fed, they're not looking to stop things from reducing price or staying the same. They look for an inflationary market or an inflation overall as a country, because that way people don't hold on to cash. That's the way our economy works. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. It's a really confusing concept, and that's probably why I didn't go to school for that. But you can see for food, let me see, I actually haven't broken down here. For food, we can see that the increase was 2.2%. So still above the Fed's target. You can see that food away from home, it was 4.2%. And this could be at restaurants or when you eat out and things like that. And obviously the driver for this is mostly the labor. I mean, because of the inflation that's been going on, a lot of restaurants and restaurants and things of that sort, bars and all, they have increased their price because they got to pay these employees more. And the food at home, the one you cook in your kitchen, that one is at 1.2%. So that one's not bad per se, but overall it's still bad. This is, what is this? This is energy. And again, this is your utilities and that things of a sort. We are at 3.1%, which is insane. That means last year we paid not necessarily 3.1%. I gotta do the math. I can't do the math in my head, but we paid less than we did last year. And again, this was after COVID. So everything has just been going crazy. And the last but not least, we're looking at, what is this? This is food and what's the green? All items except for food and energy. So everything else increased by 5.4%, which is insane, guys. Again, the Fed's target is to be at 2%. Things are just out of hand, continue to grow. So I'm not an expert. I'm not a mortgage expert or interest rate expert, but obviously the Fed promised that they will continue to bring interest rate down this year. But with this report coming out in March, we'll see the next time they report CPI. But this is not a good look. I mean, this could potentially be that the Fed stops the decrease in interest rates. So we'll see how those things play out. For our second story, we're showing that office vacancy rate nears 20% to fresh records. And again, yesterday we discussed this, where office space has reduced big time because a lot of people are working from home. COVID helped a lot of companies figure out that they can work from home, and this is why office vacancy rates continue to increase. We read here in the article, the office market in the U.S. has hit a new record in vacancy rates, reaching 19.8% in the first quarter of 2024, I'm sorry, according to Moody's Analytics. You can see here this interesting chart. In green, we have the vacancy rate increasing, and in the one in gray, you can see how rent has increased or decreased. And obviously, office space is decreasing the rent. And let me actually, I think you guys can see that pretty well. I'll zoom in so you guys can see it better. But the vacancy rate just continues to increase. And the issue here, guys, is that some commercial real estate investors are going to go in foreclosure, and banks are going to take the properties back. And this is not good because this will, I guess, depends on who you're speaking, but the value of commercial real estate will decrease because of this happening. It says here the shift towards hybrid work has significantly impact demand for office space, which is what we discussed. And the multifamily sector, for example, is beginning to see relief from an excess supply issue, indicating potential stabilization. Now, I don't know you guys, but in my hometown, no, this is not my hometown, but where I live now, which is Huntsville, Alabama, there's a lot of apartment buildings being built right now, and I know for a fact that this place is saturated. Like you can see that because when you drive around, you see like big apartment building putting big signs saying now leasing and offering like a whole discount for the whole year, or like the first 2 months free. They're offering crazy discounts, and that's how you know they're struggling to find potential tenants. So yeah, the multifamily sector is being affected, but again, not as much as office space. Office space is being it's hurting really bad right now because of the things that we just explained. Let me see. This chart explains apartment performance stayed mostly flat in the first quarter. So again, that's why I always like to say when people speak commercial real estate, it's a big broad range because it could include mobile home parks, it could include apartment buildings, it could include office space and other types of assets within the commercial asset deal. And again, office space is obviously the one killing the trend for commercial real estate. But apartment buildings, I think a lot of them are recovering. Some of them were not affected at all. So that's for that story. And for our third story, and again, comment below if you think otherwise, and let me know again how we can improve this channel. But again, the third story says 3 things to know about the UWM mortgage lawsuit. So the mortgage wholesaler is accused of steering and cheating borrowers through excessive fees, echoing some claims seen in the commission cases. So we know that the Association of Realtors, that's what it was. I couldn't get that word earlier. The Association of Realtors, they were there was a lawsuit where the state won, where they were accused of working together with several people involved in order to raise the prices of the houses, because obviously agents, they get their payment from the commission. So if the house is sold at a higher price, not everybody, the agents benefit from that commission. So these folks who are the mortgage wholesaler, there's a lawsuit in place, and there's a key point here that says United Wholesale Mortgage, which is UWM, and corrupted mortgage brokers cost borrowers billions of dollars in excess fees. Now, this is one thing I say, like, when you're buying a house, there is tons of fees that are added that we don't even realize, is because when you are buying a house, they give you like their HUD statement, and it has a whole bunch of line items that, especially if you're a first time home buyer, you have no idea what those things are. So again, it says here the mortgage industry seems to be experiencing its own Silver burner moment when it comes to allegations and steering. 4 residents of the 3 states filed a class lawsuit action against United Whole Mortgage. And this suit, I'm trying to fast forward here. My highlighting items went off in this one, but basically saying it contractually prohibits any broker who does business with UWM from shopping for loans from 2 of its competitors. So it looks like they were steering people. UWM was steering people to use specific key people in order again to for that bank to make more money, and that is against the law. So that's what the lawsuit is really, is aiming towards. And it's saying here this lawsuit is directed at UWM, which is a mortgage wholesaler that relies on third party intermediaries and independent mortgage brokers. So this is very interesting again, and this is the reason why I bring this story up is because if this lawsuit goes through, meaning winning, with UWM being sued, this means it can also affect real estate prices, whether they go up or down. But just keep that in mind. So yeah, guys, this is. I hope everybody likes the 3 stories that we presented today. Again, if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to our channel, hitting that love button. This is how I grow, and I appreciate you. Comment below if you think we can improve or any stories that you would like for me to go over. You guys have a great day, have a great morning, and God bless.